just because you have your birth plan, things change so quickly in labour.
This is our number one line we say, birth preference.
This is why we call it birth preference.
Right,
Your baby,
We don't call it plan no more because
that baby will decide what that plan
whatever
is.
it wants.
Yeah.
The only things I knew I could control, regardless of what the birth setting environment would look like, would be how I would tolerate pain.
The mic is on.
the room is sacred. Let's talk. Hello guys, welcome to the Delivery Room podcast.
The mic is on.
The room is sacred. Let's talk. Hey guys, welcome back to the Delivery Room podcast. We have missed you guys so much. It's been a while, but we are back and I am so excited to invite you guys in this episode and to introduce our guest for today. Honestly, I've already gone on about how much I love her content on here. She is a mum. She's a momfluencer, influencer, DIY queen. I like to call her as well. She is, for me, she's absolutely smashing it. And honestly, I can't wait for you guys just listen and for her to tell you about you guys. So introducing Kike.
Thank you guys. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I'm blushing in the background. Honestly, thank you. What an honor to be here. Honestly, thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome. So, should we just, we'll start off with how are you today?
Well, I'm okay. Like I said, it's been a very busy day. We've been with the baby. He's not a baby. I keep calling him a baby. He's not a baby.
Toddler.
He's 2 years old. He's very rambunctious. He's got a very big personality. So it's been a very busy day with him, just switching him around, waiting for dad to come home and then me getting out. So it's been very busy. It's also my 30th next week. So I'm trying to get in the mind frame of that. So, child, 30's looking at me in my eye. Yeah.
You're not looking anything close to it though.
Exactly.
30 is young though. 30 is very
It's
young, honey. How are you guys?
Yeah, well, I'm good. A bit tired, but yeah.
I'm well, I had a chill day. So
I love
yeah.
that. Good energy already.
We love it.
So we'll jump straight into it. We'll just begin with your pregnancy journey. Just share with us from the moment you found out you were pregnant until the delivery room and then having your baby boy.
Oh, you know what? I think I had a really good pregnancy journey. I found out really early, actually. I kept having dreams about pregnancy, and I have a very big attachment to sunflowers as good omens. And whenever I see sunflowers or they keep popping up in my life, it means something good is on the horizon. So I had like 3 dreams in a week, and then my best friend had come to the house with a sunflower. And then I had a dream that I was pregnant that night and I had to cancel my trip. So I woke up and I was like, okay, I think this means something. Let me just go do a pregnancy test. I did a test. The test didn't show I was pregnant, and there wasn't a positive confirmation on there. So like I put the test down. I looked at my boyfriend at the time and I was like, you know what? I guess we're not pregnant. That's fine. Like, let's move on. 10 minutes later, we picked the test up and there was a faint line. So we were like, okay, I guess we are pregnant, and I guess like we're doing this. So I found out even before I had missed my period, and it's like as soon as I found out, that's when I started getting the first trimester symptoms. I was getting the illness, I was getting the sickness. Everything was smelling really, really strong. First trimester was actually quite difficult because of the nausea, and the nausea never went away. Even whilst I was in labour, I was very nauseous. I was still being sick. It got to the point where I was sick every single day in my pregnancy, but I didn't have HG, but I was just sick every single day. So I think that was like the worst part of pregnancy for me. But outside of that, pregnancy was just amazing. I tell my husband now that pregnancy was the most tender period of my life, and I felt like everything just felt so soft. You know, it was a soft pregnancy. I really got the chance to just like sit down and take everything in. And I guess with everything being so sober, because you have to be sober, you're able to actually look at life head on. I think it was a great time for me to also prepare for what motherhood meant. I've said this before, but I was scared to be a mum.
You're smashing it though. We can't tell.
We cannot tell.
Have you done this before?
Girl. I'm the first of 4. So like, I guess
in a way.
You know, eldest daughter, you're performing some aspect of motherhood in that role, but obviously it's not the same as having your own child. And
when they're fresh in your hands.
And I guess like at this time, I had only viewed or seen motherhood to be in one specific way, and I couldn't reconcile with who I was at the time and what that would mean in this new phase of life. And in my mind, I thought, because I'm becoming a mum, I have to discount myself. And that didn't really appeal to me. And I think during the course of pregnancy, I really wanted to think about how I would enter into this new phase. So pregnancy was just a time for me to think a lot. Also let go of my expectations of what it means to be a mom so that I could create my own. I felt really, really supported by my friends. When I say pregnancy was very soft for me, it didn't make me feel scared to be pregnant again. I think the main things that I just found difficult were like my body changing so much. And I'm someone that's had a lot of issues with like body image in the past. So seeing how drastically my body changed was something I had to come to terms with, but also once again, like release it once again. You're doing an amazing thing carrying this baby. Right. So this is just part and parcel of it, babes. This is just what you have to accept with it. So yeah, I enjoyed pregnancy, you know, I really did. It gave me a lot of space to think about things. I got deeper in my walk with Christ as well. There was so much I just had to rely on him for to take me through the journey that it just felt... I'm thankful to God for the pregnancy experience I had. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm so glad that you had that, because we know that there's a stigma around negative experiences with Black women in maternity, from pregnancy all the way throughout. So I'm so glad to hear a Black woman come on here and say pregnant. The way you're describing it literally makes it feel like you are walking on clouds. You're almost convincing me.
If you've got a good support system, it could be a good time. Like, I definitely empathise with friends that they did have the extreme morning sickness. I had friends who were pregnant at the same time as me. They were admitted to hospital because of their morning sickness. I deeply empathise with them, but also like it helps me acknowledge how special I should regard my experience, because not everyone gets the opportunity to have such a smooth experience as is, you know. And I feel like that whole mood carried forward into like my labour and delivery story. And I say this all the time, it's really important for Black women to hear positive birth stories, because there's so many stories of things going wrong. Like we all know the stats. We all know that, you know, we need to be a little bit more guarded. We need to know our rights. We need an advocate with us, but also it's equally important to know that you can go into birth and know that you can still have a very beautiful experience as well, which is why I just really enjoy sharing my labour and delivery story, especially because I was induced. And you hear lots of stories about induction.
Everyone needs induction.
Red flag.
It's literally like a red alarm bell that's induction
in your face.
And like in my mind, I had the plan. I was going to be in the birth centre. The lights were going to be off. I was going to have candles. I was going to have my worship music in the background. It was going to be a vibe. Okay, that was my expectation of what my birth was supposed to be. So when baby wasn't moving, and he wasn't moving for 2 days in a row, so I had gone after a few hours. They did the checks. They were like, he's fine now, but please let us know if he's still not moving. I came back in the second day because he wasn't moving, and they were like, babes, we're just gonna have to induce you. And I was really, really upset, because I had programmed my mind to believe if I'm having an induction, I'm definitely gonna have a C-section. Because I think everyone I had spoke to at the time who had an induction had a really terrible birth where they birthed vaginally, but they had tore. It was just like horrendous, or it's ended in a C-section. So my mind was like, okay, I just gotta have to.
It was just, related to just the negatives of it.
Exactly. And I spoke to my fiance at the time, and I was like to him, I don't really want to have to do this, but like I guess I kind of have to do what I have to do to get the baby out. It's better to have a healthy baby, have the bad experience, than like hold myself to the standard of what I think my birth should be, and then the baby, God forbid, something happening. And we just said a prayer, and it's like in that moment, once again, like I just released everything to God, and I said, God, you're going to take me through this. Whatever's going to be will be, and it will be for my benefit, and it will be for the baby's benefit. So we went into the hospital, and they had induced me the night before by putting the gel up there, and they said, this is just the first stage of your induction. And obviously I've been doing my hypnobirthing before, so I kind of knew like how the process is going to go. In my specific hospital, they start off with the gel, and then they move into like different methods to try and like progress the birth. And once they put the gel in, I said, okay, I'm going to go to bed. What will be, Lord, have your way. And it just was so much that by the time we got to 7 a.m, I started feeling contractions. By the time we got to like 10 a.m in the morning, I was 4 centimeters dilated. So it was a very like, whew. But I'm not gonna lie, guys, by the time we were like 2 centimeters in, I said, I'm gonna die.
You know what? We hear that all the time.
Is
You
this
know,
the pain?
stations,
We
everyone's
get
like,
early stages. You know when the woman's really in pain and you can see you're in pain and you're like examining her and you're like,
She
you
not
know
gonna
what?
make
It
it.
always takes me like 3 minutes. Although as soon as I've gone in, I already know you're two, but
but I'm
it
just
takes
making
me.
sure so you know
I'm just
that
like, I'm
making sure.
literally dreading to tell
Guys?
you you're two because I know you're in
What
so
do you
much
mean that this is the
pain.
pain I'm feeling and I'm only 2
Everyone's
centimeters
like,
delayed?
Emily? They're like, no.
I was
no.
like, epidural me. Just give me the epidural. I'm gonna need that right now. And my partner was like, you don't want an epidural because you said this is the forms of pain relief you want. You want gas in air. You want to do what's the injection they give you?
Pethidine.
Pethidine. You want to do pethidine. That's what you said you want to do. So you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
And but by the time we got to like 4 centimeters dilated, they were like, okay, you're ready to go to the birthing room now. We're gonna take you over. We went to the birthing room. I was just telling myself, you know what, it's going to be a very long time until baby comes. I told myself I'm a first-time mom. It's going to take a long time for us to get to 10 centimeters. Just focus on your breathing. Just start thinking about what the contractions look like. I really would recommend hypnobirthing to every pregnant woman just because it really prepares your mind and helps you get on top of the pain. And I know hypnobirthing sounds very like, woo, woo. It sounds very new age, but I promise you it's about the science of birth. It just educates you on what your body is about to do from a scientific point of view, and it helps you to just, like I said, just get on top of what the pain will be. Because for me, the pain I was in, if I wasn't able to manage that mentally, it would have drove me crazy. That to me, that's like it is a form of, it was just a very bad pain. It's a real pain.
And I think we say all the time how important it is to prepare mentally. People overlook the mental part of labour so much, and they focus so much on the physical part of pain and what can I get physically to help. But it's like, once you lose that mental, I say it all the time, once you lose that mental capacity in your labour, that's it, you lose it all. It doesn't matter how strong you are, how high your pain tolerance is, no matter what you were able to tolerate before. As soon as that mental capacity goes, that's it.
I agree.
And you see it.
Yeah.
You literally you see it when someone loses that mental. You see it.
And I'm very hyper aware of the fact that my pain tolerance is really low. So I really wanted to prepare my mind for it. Of course, you can have a high pain tolerance, but you have to also account for the fact that this is a lot of pain over a long period of time. So you really need to just prepare yourself. And I don't see anything wrong with being as prepared as possible to go into something like birth. You can never be too prepared.
You can
never be too prepared. So I'm very thankful for how hypnobirthing just like really prepared my mind, because like I said, it gave me tactics like using a birthing comb and really focusing on transferring that pain. It helped me think about the contraction like looking like a train entering the station and then leaving. It helped me picture like the wave of the contraction, so I can almost anticipate when it's coming and when it would leave. It really, really helps me.
I can tell you pain.
Yeah.
Good attention.
Literally.
I'm so proud. I'm saying it. I'm like,
The labor no dim dims, okay? Labor's not
5 freaking stars. Honestly.
I was like,
And this is the type of preparation we need women to be doing. It's not as simple as watching a few birth stories on TikTok. You really have to get into that space and attach a mental plan that literally adheres to you and what's going to help you. Looking at anyone else's birth story and listening to anyone else's birth story is not going to help you. Reading on a little bit of pain relief is not going to help you. You really need to know and attach it personally to you.
I agree.
I really do.
I think as well, just because you have your birth plan, because things change so quickly in labour.
This is our number one line we say, birth preference.
This is why we call it birth preference.
Right.
We don't call it plan no more, because
that baby will decide what that plan
whatever
is.
it wants. So the only things you can really, the only things I knew I could control, regardless of what the birth setting environment would look like, would be how I would tolerate pain, how I would stand up in the face of all of this. So it was just very useful to like know what my body was doing, know what my body needed, whether it was like having a dark room so we could have the oxytocin to keep the labor going, like feeling very safe where I was, feeling safe by deciding who needed to be in the room as well was very important for me. So we got into the delivery room at like 10, and I remember my midwife at the time, she was like, yeah girl, this is your first baby and my shift finishes at like 4 o'clock, so I probably won't see you.
At 4 o'clock. Hey, I need to know what schedule she's on.
4?
She was like, yeah, I'm not going to be here for very long. However, I will see you tomorrow, but obviously I probably won't be here by the time baby comes out. And I was like, you know what, fair enough. You're preparing me. I probably will be here for a long time. And my husband was just reminding the midwife about his mother's birth story where like she just has quick births. And he was like, you know what, I speak that over your life. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I claim it.
We love it.
Speak it over me. Yeah.
I'm writing that one down.
Things to look up on a
Yes.
model.
It's so important. You want to have someone that's going to affirm you so much. And
I'm
like
also
I said,
taking notes.
please take the notes. It's important. So how will you be during labour? You know? Because
First things
it's just
first.
so important. You want someone that's going to really affirm you and like it just goes back to being really prepared. I had to be prepared so he would know how prepared he would need to be.
Yeah.
I knew at some point in labour, even though like, I would be on top of the pain, I just wouldn't be here because I'd be so locked in. He needs to know just as much as me. So the preparation was like bifoldal. It was for both of us to do the preparation because I need you to advocate for me, especially as a black woman. Okay, I need you to know what we're going to be doing if this happens. If this happens, this is what my rights are. So just being really prepared, not just for me, but him, made me also feel more safe as well to really like sink into the space of I'm about to give birth. Anyway, we're in the birthing suite. They pop my sack and my waters break basically. And well, no, before we got there, I think it was about like 1 o'clock now. And they were like, oh, we're just going to do a quick check on you. And they had checked me and then they were like, oh my gosh, like you're 10 centimeters dilated. Like,
Ooh.
Tell me the secret now. Because
they were like,
Wow.
This is your first birth? I was like, yes. They were like, yeah, you're 10 centimeters dilated, babe.
So you went from 2 to 4 in like 3 hours.
Literally just really quickly. Obviously, they'd given me my pethidine as soon as I got into the birthing suite. I love it so
and
much.
this is why I say, you see,
a miracle
people.
Wow, you
I
don't
know.
need the epidural gap. Well, have the epidural if you want, but there are so many different things in between.
Pethidine.
I loved
it
it.
relaxes
Do you know
your
what
muscles
pethidine-
so well.
People
and then
get
boom.
and
the other day.
people get scared because they literally think, oh, because it
baby's gonna be
crosses the
sleepy,
placenta,
yeah.
but they don't understand. I always explain this that it's safe for baby to be asleep at the stage that you're at right now. It relaxes your muscles so much
well.
that medication, like your whole body relaxes, and people underestimate when your body relaxes, your body just goes,
And you're producing more oxytocin and everything.
we see it so much.
I felt so
like you said, we
nice.
literally have the day.
So
Someone
my
went
God.
from
I had a
one.
patient who was 1 centimeter.
And then she
we
had
worked,
pethidine.
we worked together, and we were
Yeah.
on the same shift, right? And she, bless her, she was not tolerating the pain. So I gave her some pethidine. I went on my break.
She went on her break. She said, I said, all right, I'll cover you. It's fine. I'll be all right. Yeah. And then she buzzes. She goes, I'm really impressed. You know what? Let me examine you because you actually look really distressed. So examine. I was like, she's 10. Oh my gosh, we gotta
I woke
get
up
you.
to a bunch of
And then
messages.
I
Come and get your needs.
I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. While you were there relaxing, now you've left me with the birth. Thank you. I'm doing all your hard work for you.
But you know what? I can imagine she must have been so like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Oh my
She was
God, we were all-
She was so.
Oh my
ecstatic,
gosh.
bless her.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
how I
of-
felt.
Yeah.
I felt very much
love
like,
pethidine. I love pethidine.
The baby's gonna
Yeah. And you just think you've done
Done
the
it,
majority of it.
majority
You're
of it.
literally at the last
at the
hurdle.
last stage.
Yeah.
So like, I just remember them saying, okay, we're gonna like break the waters. Or maybe they had broken the waters before. I can't remember. I just remember it being a blur shower. I said, I'm gonna quickly just use the toilet because I just felt like a pressure.
Yeah.
I just felt like a pressure below. So I went to the toilet. I sat on the toilet for a bit, and I think like this is when the pain had reached like its peak at this point. And I just remember looking at my husband like, I think I'm gonna die now.
He's probably thinking,
no, you're not.
Get down.
Literally. Immediately. Immediately.
But that's how much pain I was just in. I just remember thinking I'm in so much pain. Like I don't see how I'm gonna get through this. This is just so much pain. So I remember leaving the bathroom. I stood at the edge of the bed, and I just remember saying to the midwives, "I need to push. I need to push. I need to push." I just started pushing, and the midwives then came behind me whilst I was standing, like just to cradle the baby's head. They asked my husband if he wanted to see the baby's head. He was like, yeah, he saw the baby's head. And then the ring of fire came.
Ooh.
And I remember thinking about the candles. Thank you, Mama Dunya, for reminding me.
Yeah.
Started
I love her over here.
started blowing out those candles. I said, because we're not having a tear here, not today.
Not
Jesus.
today.
Not today. And before you know it, after the 12 candles, the baby came out.
Wow.
I did, I think, like 5 minutes of pushing. Baby was
Wow.
out.
Love it.
After, we need to chat
Yeah,
about what
literally, we need the manual handbook because
When I'm saying it was all
when it comes to
God,
the time.
it was literally all God. Like, this is the perfect birth I had thought of, but I didn't think I'd have the perfect birth because I had started with an induction. And maybe if I had given myself to the negativity around induction, maybe my birth story could have looked different. Who knows? But I'm just very thankful that I got through that. I didn't experience any tears. Baby came within 5 minutes of pushing. It was a fairly quick birth. It was just very, very amazing. And I remember saying to my sisters after explaining to them what the birth was like, I just remember saying it felt like a form of worship. I know that sounds so dramatic, but I just remember like being out of my body at some points and like looking at myself and just feeling so thankful and so blessed that even though I'm in a serious amount of pain right now, my body is doing what it's supposed to do. And it's brought me to the point where I have this healthy, beautiful baby with me. Like, I'm fine. And it's made me say I kind of would do labour again. I know that sounds like...
I mean, your second one's probably going to come flying out. So
your first contraction, you better make your way to the hospital.
Honestly, as soon as you start contracting, just
Go
make your way.
straight.
I don't think you should spend too much time at home. So if I was, I'd probably do it too.
Nice and quick, that's how we like them. Nice and quick, okay?
You mean business, in and out.
In and
You're
out.
Not playing.
So I just really want to remind, especially the black women that are listening to this, you can have a beautiful birth as well. I think the most important thing is to just give yourself to the process. If you find yourself being a control freak, trying to control everything, this is one of the few scenarios in life where, babes, you can't really do that here, okay? And you're just going to drive yourself crazy. You're going to work yourself up by trying to control every little aspect. You just have to let go and accept what's happening, but also at the same time, like, know your rights. So you're not just accepting anything that's happening.
Right.
But just like give yourself to the process. I think that's the best thing I probably could have done for myself and my birth. Yeah. Just giving myself to the process.
And it sounds like it worked.
It worked beautifully.
Thank you, Jesus.
I mean, when you said, "Oh, I went to the toilet," I was thinking,
no, because honestly, because if my legs
I
would have been like,
I literally get the palm like, I'm
sorry,
sorry,
sorry, I'll leave the room, but you're gonna do it outside of the bed, and I'll be like,
you know what?
I can
fair enough.
Fair enough.
Honestly,
I don't want the baby in the toilet. No. So when you said you went to the toilet, I was literally,
I was just like, I need to just like center myself on the toilet right now. Let me just gather my thoughts because I just remember the pain just feeling so much.
And that's probably when he was descending, so he's coming down that birth canal. I think when that pain, especially you feel in your back,
I felt it
when they're coming down there.
I felt it. But I guess like standing through the whole of like labour, but also like giving birth and pushing while standing up, I guess like everything just worked in my favour. Yeah, that was the one thing I put in my birth plan initially. I do not want to give birth laying on my back. I want to be upright. I want gravity to be on my side. I just really wanted that. So I'm glad I also got that as well.
And no tears. First time up.
Wow,
you
Thank you,
literally
Jesus.
textbook.
honestly,
You're ticking all our lists like, damn, well done.
they're gonna have like warning signs next to your name next time you come in. But
Precipitate labourer.
As soon as you, everyone's like,
Get her to the right.
Yeah.
because honestly, you're gonna be
You know
like
what's
that
making
the
me
next time you come
scared?
in.
What's making me scared is like, well, what if the second time around I like things just go a different way because like, every birth is different.
It is
That's
true,
all
but I
different.
highly doubt it. Like, I think baby would have to be super compromised in that sense.
Because I always describe it as the first time your body does labour. It's like if you was to ride a bike for the first time. You are not done it before. Everything, your body literally takes a while to adjust to everything. But once you get used to riding a bike, you can hop on and ride it again. So your body just needs to get to a certain point and it's like, we can do this. And it literally just goes into it. That's why second babies are usually like faster.
quicker.
I mean, your first baby was faster.
Literally.
Your second is express.
Literally.
In and out. Okay.
So when you're ready,
I'm not mad at it.
just tell your partner, listen, have that bag ready.
You know what? We
It's
had that bag
true.
ready from like 37 weeks. We were like, we're
Yeah.
not playing no
That-
games. But you know, your first time mom, you're like, you're
Yeah,
so
you're
serious
always-
about everything.
Honestly.
Bless you.
And it's very even like condition wise. Obviously, anything can happen. Pregnancy
Yeah.
is different, but it's usually unlikely if you didn't develop it in your first pregnancy, then you won't develop it in next pregnancies. But if you did, like diabetes, for example, preeclampsia and stuff like that, you're likely to get it again. But yeah, it's very on the rare side. Unless baby's super compromised. If your pregnancy and
And I
went
think
smooth the first time,
if you go in with this mindset you had the
Yeah.
first time around, I
Nothing
think
can beat you.
nothing
Oh
can
my
beat you.
God.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like
Nothing
you
can
literally,
be.
this
felt
is
really
what we try
prepared.
to tell women like in antenatal classes and stuff like that. Like this is the type of mindset you need to have, and you literally nailed it to a
Thanks.
Like,
That's
the way
like
you
firstborn
described
daughter
it
type
was-
stuff.
Yeah. Honestly,
You're gonna
anything
get
you
it
do,
right.
you body
Yeah,
it.
No, literally.
No, like, so don't worry about the next one. Like, you're
Yeah,
gonna be just
literally.
fine,
You're gonna be
honey.
great.
We'll be waiting
I'm
for the
gonna
TikTok
take some
stories.
time. I'm gonna take some time, you know, because my firstborn, he's got the best personality. He's very energetic. So I'm like, wow, people do 2 kids, people do 3 kids.
Hey, some do 5 and 6.
Wow.
Literally.
And they're the strong moms.
Literally.
Yeah, thank you guys. Someone has to do it. Somebody has
gotta
to do it.
Okay.
Literally.
But
yeah, really love that.
Yeah, honestly, this
Yeah.
is the perfect birth story. Honestly,
Thank you.
Even though it started off not what you thought, but
Yeah.
it ended up in the way you wanted as
Just
well,
so
and
perfect.
you were very resilient and strong throughout the whole thing. And your partner, well done to him as well.
I think he was more like,
Yeah.
wow, I can't, like, she did that. It was very, I felt very G'd up, like, after birth, when he would be telling people the story and the adjectives he would use to describe
Yeah.
me,
Very
and
empowering.
just his recollection of the entire ordeal helped me realize, bro, like, I did that.
Yeah, it's like they find a new found like
Respect.
strength in you. Like they
Yeah.
see you in a
Yeah.
completely different light. Like majority of husbands, like you see the like in their face, like when
Yeah.
everything's on, they're just like, I just can't believe
Yeah.
you did that. Like like any man that doesn't have a newfound respect for his woman that gives birth, and this is why I cannot take
And then
people
what's
that,
coming next?
that don't look after their kids or are not there for their kids. It's like, how do you watch someone go through such, like, giving birth is it can't be compared.
Life
It
and
can't
death.
be
Nothing.
described. It's
Pregnancy,
literally its own thing.
Birth, postpartum. In my dictatorship,
Yeah, right.
deadbeats would be in a stock weekly.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Okay.
They
Singing
would
to
be
the choir.
jailed.
Vote me for president.
Jailed immediately.
Okay, get him in the jail.
All the things that I see, like, and even me, like, even in the labor room, when I even smell someone not being
How'd
supported,
you guys deal with that?
do you know what? It's so hard
It is
because obviously
difficult.
you have to be
Professional.
professional. But at the same time, I'm strict. I'm always like, look, like if I see a man stressing, I'm just like, look, you're doing worse by being here and stressful. Maybe it's better if you swap with someone or you step out the room because this is not helping.
And I never understand why men want to pick an argument with a woman in labor. Why why is this the time to come and stress her out? Like, I've never understood that. And I just sit there and I'm just like, you know, to the point where when you're going somewhere, it's just like, just
Yeah,
move
literally,
out of the way.
like, yeah, that's like when
because
you're
I'm annoyed for her.
Yeah.
She's dealing with the most
Real
painful thing ever.
stuff.
And then you're coming to argue. Who are you?
Get the heck out of here.
None like
they
that.
would be
Get the heck
jailed
out
if it
of
was
here.
up to me. Seriously,
Unforgivable
I
offense.
don't take that
Like,
stuff
that time will
lightly.
come.
Like,
Mm.
you know, before becoming a midwife, I was always like, you know what, deadbeat dad. But when you actually
Feel it, yeah.
feel it, and you see what women go through, and it's like, how can you mistreat someone to any capacity
I agree.
that would go through that for your child?
I agree.
It's
I agree.
honestly,
It's
it
disrespectful.
blows my mind.
It's
every
unbecoming.
single time.
Right.
It's selfish as heck.
So selfish.
Yeah.
But
So
you know what?
Yeah.
I believe in justice.
No,
Yeah.
literally. One
Yeah.
day they will come.
One
they
day
will
the
come.
time will come.
They will pay
Yeah.
their dues.
The time
Exactly.
will come.
But yeah, but just on the plus side, like it's just you describing how important it was for your partner to be there, your husband advocating for you, speaking life into you, like that is so important.
It's so important.
And I always emphasize and I always say it actually doesn't have to be your husband.
Yeah.
Like it can literally be
Your sister,
anyone who you
your
trust
mum.
to speak life into
Yeah.
you. Like don't feel forced to like bring your partner into the
Sometimes they're not
labouring
even the
room.
best ones.
Yeah,
I was
it
literally
really
gonna say,
isn't,
like, I love
and-
my mum so much, and this is her first grandbaby.
Yeah.
And like, I know she wanted to be in the room. But
Yeah.
I also know my
Yes,
mum.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
she,
I
I'm
always
like,
say
girl,
that.
I say my mum was just
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. She was like, ah, this is not how we want to do things.
When it was before
I
there
don't
was
need
no
that.
picture, there was none of this.
Yeah,
We were just
I don't
doing it
need
like that.
babes.
Oh my
So
God.
respectfully, you can come and see me once the baby is out. As for
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
it just needs to be me and this person.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, it doesn't need to be your partner.
It
It could
really
be your
doesn't.
sister. It could be a friend. Whoever you feel
You
could
feel
best support you.
safest, Exactly.
That's who needs to be in the room.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly that.
Well done.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing. That was nice.
welcome.
That
Yes,
was
I
nice
love
to
that.
talk about
Really
and dive
did.
into. So I guess now we're gonna ask about you've had a baby now.
Yeah, he's too.
You're a first time mother.
Yes, I am.
You've had this baby for 2 years. No returns.
Ah, the receipt has gone missing.
How is motherhood treating you?
Well, motherhood is so insane. It's so varied. It's nothing like what I imagined it to be. It's so individual to each person, and it's so dynamic. Like it's just there's no one constant state of motherhood. And I think when I first gave birth, I was in my little bubble, which was a beautiful bubble. We didn't accept any visitors for the first, I think, 6 weeks.
I'm doing that as well.
Honestly, that's one of my rules.
We just had my
can-
parents, his parents,
Yeah.
and siblings. Like we didn't have any friends there. Like it's really hard because you're learning how to breastfeed. There's this new baby that's looking at you. You're on this really weird time schedule. You're not sleeping. That's probably for me. That would have been the worst time to host people. I would have been really irritable. I was already feeling very sensitive. The baby blues were very real for me those first 2 weeks. I couldn't imagine being around people. So we had like a really beautiful bubble for the first 6 weeks. And then as we were starting to get back to ordinary life, I think I was finding motherhood difficult because I was like newly self-employed and I didn't understand what the balance should be because also I didn't want to lose myself to motherhood. So there was a lot of trial and error in the first few months, and there was a lot of having to be honest with myself as well, but also acknowledging that where I am right now in life, I can't pick up as much as I could before in the past because my plate just looks different. And I think because I'm one of the first few friends in my friendship group who is going through motherhood in this way as a self-employed person, I didn't really feel like I could turn to anyone to like ask questions. So I felt very, I guess, like alone in the first few months, which now looking back, I don't think really helped me and helped my mind as I was progressing further, like deeper into motherhood itself. I tell my friends this all the time, like by the time I got to like month 8, that's when I could say like I was really battling with some mental things that I didn't really want to acknowledge or label as depression at the time. I think because my job is like very front facing, like you need to be there.
Online.
You just need to be there. And yeah, you could take time off, but my job specifically like is very much attached to being present. And this sounds more political than it should do, but pregnancy isn't really a seller in the beauty space at the time. And sometimes brands don't want to work with you because you're pregnant, you know? And that's just the honest truth of it. If people are experiencing this in corporate environments where they're feeling like they're being ousted because of pregnancy, like why would I think the creator space would be any different? So I think it was like also trying to figure out and pivot and you know, align life in a way whereby I could still work and be fulfilled, but at the same time, this is my job. I gotta make money, you know? And I feel very blessed that I have a partner that's super supportive and was able to like hold things down, but there was something very important for me to also like have my own. Maybe it's like the firstborn daughter in me, but motherhood just didn't allow me to show up in the way I wanted to show up. But I had to accept that life was different now. And maybe I'll be back there in due time, but I have to be okay with moving slower and doing less just for this season. And I think these are thoughts that I still deal with every once in a while, and I have to remind myself that my plate looks different now. And it's just like a lot of accepting, but also like changing and moving and deciding what you are going to take on this month. And you know what, maybe I don't have the capacity for this month. I just need to pick that up another time. So it's a lot of like making a lot of executive decisions, things I'm not really good at, if I'm really honest with you. And it's helped me just figure out a lot more about how I work as a person and what my own professional boundaries are, because those have changed a lot now becoming a mother. You could tell me on a Saturday, yeah, we'd love for you to come in to do X, Y, and Z for us. Like, don't tell me to come anywhere on the weekend now, because that's reserved now for myself and my family and my child specifically. So it's just, I think I show up in the world very differently now. And I think I will continue to evolve and change as I'm becoming deeper in motherhood, as I grow as a mother as well. Maybe by the time I become a mother of 2, I will once again change. So I think I'm really trying to figure things out still, you know? What does it mean to show up in this world as a Black woman who's the mother of a son, who wants her son to grow up and know life in this very specific way? How do I do that with the tools I have, with the support system I have? How do I do that? I'm like figuring it out day by day, you know?
What a nice way to describe.
That gave me goosebumps.
Yeah,
I was just sitting here like,
I love the way you describe your challenges, because it's like you present them as challenges, but then you also have a way of turning those challenges
and breaking it down and like
understanding
adapting
where it's coming
to it.
Like that is a great way.
Public speaker.
Yeah, no, honestly, literally, such a great way.
That's what a lot of therapy will do for you. I'm not gonna lie. I really believe
I'll
in
just
the
say,
power of
as
therapy.
someone that has been watching your content, like, I can't see that in your. I know obviously you're not gonna show it, but I don't see that content. Even when I noticed that your content did shift from like beauty to like motherhood, pregnant, it was still like all in one thing. It's like, well, this is Kike, so we're just gonna watch it anyway.
I appreciate that.
And like the new you or the motherhood you still like the beauty part still came through. Do you know what I mean? It kind of like, looked like you just collided both.
Real worlds, and
I think that's
showing us what it is.
I think that's the only thing I could have done at the time. You know, I found that I was interacting with life a lot through the lens of motherhood. So like beauty, what does beauty now mean to me as a mum? Like, I don't have an hour and a half to sit and beat my face anymore. Like how can I show up as a baddie with the 20 minutes I have, you know? Like, how do I show up feeling fashionable with this new body I have, you know? I've never really dressed a body that looks and feels like this. How do I still feel comfortable but still feel sexy? How do I like not lean into the matron, but lean into like the youthfulness of it? So I felt like, especially the first 6 months, I was only able to interact with life through the lens of motherhood. And I know some people are like, oh, women, sometimes they have kids and it becomes all about their kids.
It kind of is though.
It's automatic. Like, I mean,
especially
it's
that
part
first
of the
year, your life is consumed a lot by the child and the challenge of motherhood. It's a very new but demanding role. And I think people need to give their mummy friends, I mean, people do give their mummy friends a lot of grace, but just understand that it's a very difficult journey to make it, and it's very all-encompassing. A lot of mums as well, they get stuck in the journey and they don't want their lives to be only about motherhood, but because of how heavy and how demanding it is, it's easy to drown in all of that. So give your friends small grace. Okay, continue to give them grace.
And well done for navigating it, finding your way
system,
and still like you said, it's still a work in progress. And I think it will change at every stage of your life, of your child's life. You know, when he's 3, 4, 5, 6, the way he will navigate things is different. So then, you know, the way you navigate things is different. But I think the beauty in it is that you understand that things will change and you've accepted it and you're open to just growing with it, which is good. Well done.
I appreciate that. Like I said, therapy and having a good support system, you know, and journaling has also helped, you know.
Yeah, I gotta try that.
Yeah, please write some things down. It's good for the brain.
I need to stop ChatGPT. I need to
get you a journal. Okay, it's very freeing. Having a journal is very freeing. I would highly recommend.
Wow.
So one thing I wanted to pick on, you said kind of like navigating your new body, your new dressing to feel sexy, and we know you did a little something online. You went on a little journey and you shocked us all. Hey, so hot mums unite.
Listen, I'm so proud of all the hot mums. We've got 820 of us now.
Wow.
In the group, which I'm very proud of.
Wow.
Hot mums and hot babes alike. And I'm just very glad to have been on this journey and shown myself and in tandem shown everyone else that you can have a baby and bounce back and do that in your own time. It doesn't need to be the immediate snapback. You could do it in your own time and do it safely. I really am grateful that I've been able to work with Bethany J. Lord. She's my coach, and she gave me a lot of confidence on this journey to really understand like eating and diet and how it affects how your body will change through the process. And it doesn't have to be like rabbit greens and boiled chicken. It can be very, very exciting, familiar food to you, but it's really understanding how the food presents on your plate, what those macros actually mean, and how your body is actually able to process all of that energy, but also having a very good understanding of movement and activity. And one thing I've really been enjoying over the last year is figuring out that movement doesn't have to be mundane and boring. I can do anything. Okay, I can do anything. I just went to a step class on Monday, which was so fun. I burnt like 500 calories.
Step fun.
It was really fun. I
haven't tried it. Yeah, I need to try that. Honestly,
what? It was
I need to try
my
that.
calves on fire.
Yeah. You find that fun.
But it was a good time. I went with my friends, and it was just a good time to like move your body. And I'm trying to figure out more ways to keep fit through activity. I go to the gym 3 times a week and I do weightlifting, traditional weightlifting. I think that's what's helped me really transform my body and really helps change my metabolism as well. I didn't realize that like I had finished my metabolism by being too restrictive, and that's what one thing maybe a lot of mums may not realize, especially because I had started breastfeeding, and I breastfed exclusively for 3 months, but then breastfed all the way to 6 months with combi feeding, and everyone's like, yeah, babes, you're gonna breastfeed and all the weight's gonna drop off.
Yeah, I don't know everyone got that. Where they got that
rumor, because it doesn't happen.
Okay, I don't know where people got that.
Who started that rumor?
I gained more weight post baby than I did my entire pregnancy.
Yeah.
I gained so much weight, and you're feeding a whole baby. Like I was hungry all the time. You have to eat to create the milk. And one thing I was really weary of is cutting my calories back so much that it affects my milk supply. Like my child doesn't deserve that, especially because I knew I want to lose weight because I want to just look good. And it's not just look good. Of course, there are reasons why you want to look good, but it just wasn't important for me in that season of life. And when I was able to, stop breastfeeding now, I can now think about like what my diet looks like. But I made the mistake of like cutting my calories down way too much, and I was left feeling really hungry. I ended up looking more skinny fat because I wasn't thinking about protein. I wasn't also lifting properly because I wasn't thinking about like the real body reconstruction. I wasn't thinking about that at all. And like I said, I really messed up my metabolism, which meant by the time I was working with a coach and was able to bring my calories back up, it actually worked backwards for a while in that I had to gain weight in order to lose weight to fix my metabolism, which is what you need to really do the work to have that full body recomp. So I'm not a fitness trainer. I do not have the qualifications, but what I do know is I am a regular mum who just wants to look hot and feel good consistently. And I really want mums to have the same support to feel those things as well. And I think it's important that, like I said, as a regular mum, they can also do that too. So I think it's important for me to share that journey with everyone around me and share it with other mums so they can also know it's possible. I'm not a fitness babe. I'm a regular mum who just wants to look hot.
No. And you do.
Thanks, babe.
And I love it. And I love the encouragement.
Honestly,
and I love what you said about it in your own time. Like you said, when you were breastfeeding, it wasn't important to you in that time. And that's absolutely okay. But when it came important for you to then prioritize weight loss, then it was your time to prioritize weight loss. And even if it is a year after pregnancy, 2 years after pregnancy, in your own time.
I think for me it was 14 months. I gave birth November 2023. I didn't start working out properly until January 2025. And like I said, I work a very front-facing job. Like people are in my DMs telling me, "Girl, you're a bit fat now."
Hey,
how do we?
You know when your pregnancy do? That's what they need to do. Just shut your mouth.
That's a mental impairment.
It's not taking away from your bills. Like someone.
Honestly, people that
please,
that's a mental
guys.
impairment. That's people that have issues. Honestly,
and you know what? As painful as it is to have seen and read those things, it really helped me realize that people don't really understand how much your body changes post
They
pregnancy.
don't get it.
We see the snapback culture and we think that is the norm. It's not the norm. Like a lot
It
of
really
women
isn't.
really struggle after having a baby because your body just changes so much. Even
Yeah.
even though like I look better than I did before pregnancy, my body does not look the same.
Yeah.
It won't look the same. And
it won't.
you really need to make peace with how your body is going to change because, like I said, even though like you will snap back, it's just not going to snap back in the same way.
No,
My
it really
boobs look
isn't.
different, child. They look very different.
Yeah, and you've
And it's
breastfed.
exactly
You know what I mean?
you
That's
literally
what people-
fed
And I'm
your
proud of
child.
them.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm very
And
proud
you
of them.
should be.
Okay? I'm
And
proud
you
of my
should
stomach.
be.
I'm proud of my stretch marks. I'm proud of all of this.
It created
Yeah.
life,
It's
and
an
you
evidence
fed
of-
and then
yeah.
nurtured a whole baby.
A whole human being, you know, and I'm
Listen.
stronger than I was before. I'm more active than I was before, and for me, that's
Yeah.
what's really important. You know, I just happen to look good whilst doing so.
Yeah.
You know,
And I love how you use the word safe as well, because people also underestimate, especially if you've had like a C-section, for example, people underestimate the dangers that can occur if you actually do jump into things like that too quickly. Like, you should not feel that pressure.
yeah.
In your own time, everyone recovers. Everyone says 6 week mark, 6 week mark. That 6 week mark is just the guideline. Honestly, guys, that 6 week mark is a guideline. It
couldn't have
doesn't mean in
imagined.
6 weeks
You
you're
could
gonna
get
be
back into
feeling
the
back to
gym,
yourself.
doing
Because I feel
hip
like
thrusting.
after 6 weeks, people will then think they should
I
like
should
be back to normal.
yeah.
Back to,
Are your hormones even leveled at that point?
Like,
Nah.
no.
6 weeks is the minimum. Where like, okay, cool, you should like it's the minimum.
Start,
Give
like,
yourself 6 weeks at least.
to-
Please, if it takes you 6 months, 10 months, a year,
however long
Absolutely
it
fine.
takes,
it's
however long it
okay.
takes.
It's
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, there is a lot of like societal
Yeah.
pressure to just like, 6 weeks I need to look like Kim Kardashian again, or I need to do this, or people start using Mounjaro, and it's like you haven't even allowed these hormones to secrete
To
your body
settle
fully.
down.
Like you're still feeding, you're doing this. Yeah, it's
a very real
sad
thing.
that
you know?
we as women we feel so much
So
much
much
pressure in so
pressure
many
in
different
many
areas, and
directions,
it's like
yeah.
you do the most wonderful thing you can do, and then you have some stupid person
I
come and
know.
tell you, oh yeah, you've gained. Go away.
No,
That's why you just need to like affirm yourself,
Yeah.
because I know I
Right.
found it really, really difficult. Like, because I'm dealing with things mentally. I ain't thinking about how my body looks.
Right.
Yeah, of
But
course
I
not.
realized I was also like hyper aware of the fact that I felt this, but oh my gosh, if they could see it too, oh my gosh, it must be true. You have to really like talk yourself off the ledge, but also at the same time like really affirm the way you look, and maybe it's other people around you that are gonna affirm the way you look, or you do it to yourself by writing in your journal, I am so beautiful, this body is so beautiful. I think someone spoke about the notion of body neutrality, and I was like, yeah, I really, really like that. You don't feel positive, you don't feel negative, it's just my body is doing what it's supposed to do in this season. And I think that's a very like healthy way of looking at your body, especially because it will go through many, many changes, you know. Last year I was really, really lean. I was working really, really hard, and then I've gone into this year, maybe I feel like relaxed a bit, because I realized I do like cake, you know.
Yeah, like
I do like ice cream.
honestly.
Like, I like to eat, and one of the good things like of life, one of life's pleasures for me is
That you
eating.
can eat.
You're in the right place.
You can eat.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
sometimes it's give and take. In this season, I do want to enjoy going out with my friends to eat. Okay, maybe a season will come where I'll say, you know what, I want to
I
look.
want to be stricter. Yeah.
Then I'll make the necessary sacrifices.
Right,
But
right.
like I said,
About
life is
balance.
dynamic. Exactly.
Balance.
That balance where you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Thanks.
Really do. Honestly, the amount of gems that have been dropped today. Might have to put a subscription on this one.
Patreon. Patreon.
If we can give this one out for free. That's a good job. But no, honestly, thank you for just sharing your story from beginning of pregnancy to the end. Absolutely love it. The words of encouragement, the brand that you've built alone is
Thank you.
honestly
Inspiring.
inspiring and should be a staple for all mums out there. And the fact that you focus on body positivity, but not in a way that society thinks body positivity should be. It's according to your own time, according to your own recovery, according to your own journey.
I think you've really rebranded what body positivity is.
Thank you.
And I think before I came across you, I don't think I've seen a black mum out there that speaks about it the way you do, and you seem so confident with it. And just watching your videos, and then I'm like, I ain't even had a baby, but I was like, you know what, I can do this. Like,
Exactly.
I can do this.
All babes are welcome too.
But I'm like, like I honestly have not come across a creator like you, and it was like, wow, like finally someone out there pushing the positive birth story, pushing positive body, embracing your pregnancy body. Like, I don't think, even though you might have been dealing with stuff,
Yeah.
you never put that out there for us to see. And even when you did share that part of you were like, you know, this is how I am now, and I'm accepting it, but this is how I want to be, and this is how I'm going to move on. And I think it's, like, you really created this space, you really filled it in, and I think, like, so many women will definitely look up to that, and I hope they do. I hope, like, after they, you know, they give birth, they're like, you know what, they come across you, and then they then feel inspired to just do what they want to do, and just not be too harsh on themselves.
Exactly.
But thank you for
Thank you so much for
doing this for these women, inspiring
Honestly,
all of us.
All
and
of us.
just-
I ain't even had a baby. I ain't even pregnant, but I feel inspired. I'm like, yeah.
How much you know? She sounds like she wants to get pregnant.
She actually convinced me, honestly.
That 9 months to pregnancy agenda is strong. No, honestly, like we are, we're grateful,
so grateful
for the work you do.
I was going to say the same for
things
you
put
guys.
out
Like, it's
there.
really important that we have black midwives in the room and working at making us feel comfortable to give birth. But just in general, like the work that you guys do for pregnant women. Thank you as well.
Thank you.
Okay, it's twofold.
Yeah. But I guess we've come to an end.
Yeah,
So-
just let them, our lovely listeners, know where they can find you, all your brands, everything associated with you.
Well, you can find me on everything at Kike AJ. That's Kike AJ _. And I'm just here being a hot mom.
Hashtag Hot Mums Unite.
We love it. Clock it.
So thank you guys for listening and tuning in today, as always. And we are the Delivering Podcast on Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on YouTube and Spotify. We release every Sunday at 7 p.m. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye.